Today we're going to talk about something that I hear all the time, and that is neck tension. With how much time we are all now spending on our devices, be it computers and our cell phones, and just with kind of the weight of the world, which puts a lot of weight on our shoulders, we tend to be walking around with really stiff, tight, tense necks. So today we are going to talk about some reasons for this, as well as some ways that hopefully you can relieve a little bit of your neck tension just at home. For today's session, we are going to use a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, a thick book would work just fine. I use my copy of The Goldfinch a lot. It's a very thick book, so that would work just the same as this. And also a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, a belt, a tie, an elastic, like a long TheraBand would work just fine also. So lots of ways to work around if you don't have actual yoga props. So if you need to, just pause the video for a moment and go gather those things and then come right back. The first thing that we're going to talk about with neck tension is the posture of your shoulders and head, because this forward head carriage position like this is most commonly the culprit for these muscles in the neck, our extensors, our suboccipital muscles, to get really tight and also really weak. So the first thing I want us to do is you're going to take your yoga strap or whatever you're using as that, wrap it around the base of the skull. So this bone along the bottom of your skull is your occipita. So right along the occipital ridge, just place that and just bring your hands forward. And then what we're going to do here is we're just going to move the chin forward and move the chin back. It's sort of like, if you remember Walk Like an Egyptian, it's sort of like that. Go forward and back. Forward and back. And you're trying not to really move the shoulders or the hands, really just moving the placement of the skull as it comes into connection with the upper spine, with the axis and atlas, your top two vertebrae. Just take a few like this. What we're doing here is we are strengthening these suboccipital muscles. Keep going. There are these muscles that run from the base of the occipita and down and connect into our trapezius muscles and all of our back muscles. And when they're weak, they simply don't have the strength to hold the head in proper position. So they're weak, and then we sit with the head forward, the chin forward like this. The muscles stay weak, and they also get really tight. And that's just doesn't sound like it would be comfortable. So just take a few more. And if you do find that you walk around with this forward head carriage position, this is a really great thing to implement into your daily routine, just to start to strengthen those muscles. Now go ahead and just set that strap off to the side. And then sitting up nice and tall, see if you can find that position when you pull the head back without the awareness with that strap. So the way the chin kind of draws down and back, it almost feels like the tips of your ears lift up. And just see if you can take a moment to sense that head position. That's really where we want to have our head for the majority of the day. Start to sense where that is for you. And how when you do properly place the head on the spine, it almost becomes weightless. It just balances there. That's it. Now once you have this head position, sitting up nice and tall, the chin sort of back, the ears perked up, go ahead and carry your right ear to your right shoulder. Take that right hand overhead, just lightly touching your left ear, and extend the left arm to the side with the palm open. Draw the shoulders down, and without pulling the head, just lightly carry the head to the right. Notice if you feel this stretch all the way down into the fingertips on that left side. I know that I do. Turn your chin into your armpit, take the hand to the back of the head. Wrap the left arm behind the lower back. Now as you nod your chin in, think of dipping that left elbow down like you were going to put it in your back pocket. Gently release the hands to the thighs, lift the head back upright. We'll take the same thing on the other side, left ear to left shoulder. Lightly take that left hand overhead and place it on the right ear. Extend the left arm to the right arm to the side, palm open, spread the fingers. Draw the shoulders down. Send energy out through those right fingertips. Notice how that really makes a difference in the sensation. Turn your chin into the armpit, hand to the back of the head. Wrap that right arm behind the lower back, and again, dip the elbow down and nod the chin in. Notice if you tend to carry tension more on one side of the neck than the other. Just something to be aware of. Maybe to take a few more seconds on the side that feels tighter than the other. It's important to remember with these asymmetries in the body that we treat asymmetry asymmetrically. Rest the hands to the thighs, lift back up. So if you do have these imbalances in the body, which, let's be honest, we all have imbalances in the body, it's important to address those imbalances appropriately, meaning we don't treat the two sides of the body exactly the same. We accommodate for where these imbalances exist in order to move to a place of balance, if that can make sense. The last thing we're going to do here, we're going to lay down. You're going to have that block at its second height, and you're going to align the edge of the block with that occipital ridge. So the block is not under the neck at all. The edge of it is aligned with the edge of your skull. Just drop the arms to the sides. I like to bring my knees together and my feet apart here. Now realistically, you probably aren't feeling very much at all right now. That's perfectly fine. Just really surrender the weight of the head into the block. Keeping the head really heavy, roll your head all the way off to the right side, over towards that right ear, and just pause. From where you are, roll your head halfway back to center, pause there, and start to make tiny little circles with the head. Just like you were tracing the outline of a nickel with your nose. Switch the direction. Try to stay really heavy in the head, relaxed in the shoulders. From where you are right now, roll your head halfway back to center once more. Pause. Start to make little circles there. Try to keep the neck at ease. Switch the direction. Roll your head to center, pause. Notice the difference now from right to left. Maybe it's just a sense of warmth or awareness. Keep your head heavy, roll all the way over to the left. Try not to pick up the head, just roll it along the block. From there, roll halfway back to center, pause, and again, just make little 1-inch circles. Switch the direction. From there, again, roll halfway back to center. Pause there, make those circles. Switch direction. Come all the way back to center, pause here. Melt the shoulders into the mat. Listen carefully here. You're going to take your right hand behind your head. Just allow the head to roll into that hand. So you're taking the weight of the head into the hand. With your left hand, reach back, grab that block, slide it out, and then lightly lay your head down to the mat. With your head laying down, draw your chin down towards the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. That's really that same head position that we talked about while seated. Just feel it for a moment. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Very lightly roll onto the side of your body, just into the fetal position. And softly bring yourself up to sit. Let the head just trail behind. And crossing the ankles, sit up nice and tall. Feel the way the chin draws down and slightly back. The tips of the ears perk up. That divine alignment as the skull balances on top of the spine. Join your hands at your heart. Thank you so much for joining today. Namaste.